Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The activities of Oman Science Festival 2017 are launched at Oman Conference and Convention Center. The Sultanate celebrates the Omani Youth Day, which falls on the 26th of October each year. The Omani-British Joint Working Group reviews the growth of cooperation relations between the two countries and a number of current regional and international issues. And more than 70 initiatives and projects are announced at a conference held by the Implementation Support and Follow-up Unit for the Fisheries Laboratories. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Gurbanguly Bardi Muhammadov of Turkmenistan on his country's National Day. The activities of Oman Science Festival for 2017 was inaugurated at Oman Conference and Convention Center. It includes main corners for the branches of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, innovation and robots. The event also displayed around 500 scientific and innovative projects from various schools of the Governorate of the Sultanate. The three-day festival aims also to attract companies and establishments to support and adopt youth innovative projects. The inauguration ceremony was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Said, advisor to His Majesty the Sultan and chairman of the Research Council. The Sultanate celebrates today Omani Youth Day, which was declared by His Majesty the Sultan on the 26th of October. A ceremony was held on this occasion at Sultan Qaboos Youth Complex in Salalah city. It was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Malak bin Shihab Al Said. Around 148 male and female youths who achieved advanced positions in various domestic and international events and competitions were honored during the celebration. It also included speeches delivered by some Omani youths. An exhibition was also organized on the sideline of the event with the participant of a number of public and private establishments. It displayed a number of distinguished youth initiatives in various fields. The celebration of Omani Youth Day comes to highlight the youth achievements in various development sectors. More details in the following report by Hani Amir Al-Barka.
Every year, the National Youth Commission celebrates young Omanis who have achieved local, regional, and international achievements in various scientific, social, technical, cultural, and other fields to highlight them as successful models and honor them on the National Day of Youth. The Sultan Qaboos Youth Complex for Culture and Entertainment in Salalah hosted the celebration of the National Youth Commission under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Malik bin Shihab bin Tariq Al Said. The Wiyakam competition targets three main categories: voluntary teams, non-profit associations, sports clubs, and affiliated teams.
The Omani Youth Day represents the national mission for developing youth competency under the wise leadership of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. And as an extension of this vision, our group, Nama Group, which consists of 11 companies that look after the government shareholding in the transmission, generation, procurement, distribution, supply, We have developed a sustainability program with the belief that the youth stand at its core. So the sustainability program consists of three main pillars: social, economic, and environmental.
The competition aims to enrich volunteering, empower young people, and direct their energies towards advancing the development of the country. For Oman TV English News, Hani Amir Al-Baraka, Salalah.
The Omani-British Joint Working Group reviewed the growth of cooperation relations between the two friendly countries and exchange of experience in scientific, economic, telecommunications and other fields. This came during the 12th meeting of the working group, which was chaired by the Omani side by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamid Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, whereas from the British side, by His Excellency Alistair Burt, Secretary of the State at the Foreign Office. The Omani-British group also discussed the development of the joint work on the field of education between the two countries and efforts to enhance capacities and readiness in various aspects of interest and follow-up. The two sides further held a session of political consultation in which they exchanged points of views on a number of current, regional and international issues and the role played by the two states in achieving goals of international peace and security. More than 70 initiatives and projects were announced at the conclusion of a conference held by the Implementation Support and Follow-up Unit for the Fisheries Laboratories. The project comprised of a trade and artisanal fishing, aquaculture and in-country value were approved by the fisheries wealth sector. It is hoped that these projects will achieve a remarkable increase in the GDP estimated at 543 million and prove 8,000 job opportunities for the national workforce by the end of 2023. Still to come in our news bulletin. Possibility of benefiting from the Omani frankincense element for the treatment top discussions at the first international meeting on frankincense and medicinal plants in Salalah. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Now for the international world, the Iraqi Prime Minister has announced a multi-pronged operation to capture a series of towns and villages near the Syrian border from the Daesh group. In a statement issued today, Haider al-Abadi said the operation aims at liberating Qaim and Rawa as well as other villages. Al-Abadi, who's an official visit to Iran, said that the Daesh militants have only to choose death or surrender. Daesh has been driven out of most of the territories seized in 2014 from northern Iraq through the country's center and across western Anbar province. The targeted areas in the last Iraqi territory that is still under the control of militants. The democratic opposition and political prisoners in Venezuela today won the European Union's Sakharov Prize for freedom of thought. The European Parliament said it wanted to reward the courage of students and politicians fighting for freedom in the face of repressive government. The Venezuelan laureates followed the footsteps of last year's winners, two Yazidi women who escaped enslavement by the Daesh group. The award, named after Soviet dissident Andrei Sakharov, was created in 1988 to honor individuals or groups who defend human rights and fundamental freedoms. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson arrived in Geneva today to meet the UN envoy for Syria. Staffan de Mistura was not expected to make any comments after today's meeting because he is to speak later to the UN Security Council by video conference. Tillerson is stopping in Geneva on the way home from a trip to Asia and the Middle East. The U.S. State Department previously said Tillerson would meet with the heads of the UN refugee and migration agencies and the head of the international committees of the Red Cross, but hadn't confirmed a meeting with Mistura. Russia-backed Syrian government forces and U.S.-backed Kurdish-led troops have recently significantly reduced territory control by the Daesh groups across Syria. The new Dutch government was sworn in by the Dutch King Willem-Alexander in The Hague today. After 208 days of tough negotiations, the leader of 4 Dutch parties agreed on 9th of October on a draft program for the new centre-right coalition government under Prime Minister Mark Rutte that will likely push policies further to the right. The March 15th election gave the coalition a narrow one-seat majority in the 150-seat lower house of the Dutch parliament and ended Rutte's alliance with the centre-left Labour Party. After years of austerity, the new government promised to reward voters with lower taxes. An explosion and inferno at the fireworks factory near the Indonesian capital today killed at least 47 people and injured dozens. Witnesses said a huge explosion was heard from the factory at about 10 a.m. local time, and then smaller explosions echoed across the neighborhood as orange flames jumped from the building and the column of black smoke billowed from it. The chief of the policy in Jakarta's satellite city of Tangerang said all bodies recovered so far were found in the remains of the factory, and a search of the building is continuing. The factory is located next to the residential area in Tangerang, a city in Banten province on the western outskirts of Jakarta. The first international meeting on frankincense and medicinal plants was held in Salalah under the auspices of His Excellency Sayyid Mohammed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of the FAR. More details in the following report by Mohammed bin Nasser Al Yafai.
Dhofar University hosted the first international meeting on frankincense and medicinal plants. The meeting comes as one of the scientific research field of the university to highlight the importance of frankincense throughout the history.
The importance of hosting this symposium is to discuss the importance of the frankincense. Since the ancient century, frankincense has been very important in many ways. And since we are in the land of frankincense, Dhofar University has got a responsibility to show the great importance and how to keep and grow this valuable ancient tree.
The meeting includes several working papers for researchers and specialists from inside and outside the Sultanate.
Most of the papers delivered in this meeting focused on how to use frankincense constituents as therapeutics. Also, in the conference, there was a very interesting talk about how to use frankincense as anti-cancer.
The meeting provides a unique opportunity to international and local companies, research institutes and commercial agencies to exhibit their services and products in an exhibition.
We are here on behalf of Oman Pharmaceutical Products Limited, and we are working in collaboration with the Dhofar University and the Basulai moiety to develop one formulation which is to be used as a ointment.
So we have all the products from fragrances, more than 15 products. All is a natural and organic.
The aim of meeting is to focus on research and development of frankincense and medicinal plants by transferring knowledge to industry. It also provides an opportunity to Omani researchers to contribute by their scientific output and to meet with the international researchers in the field of medicinal plants. For Oman TV News, Mohammed bin Nasser Al-Yafi'i, Dubai University, Salalah.
Under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Rashid bin Al-Safi Al-Huraibi, Chairman of the Tender Board, the Dossier Constructions Infrastructure Awards event was held last night at Sheraton Hotel in Rui. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai.
A splendid evening was held last night to present the Dossier Construction Infrastructure Award 2017. It's an exclusive construction, infrastructure and real estate event for those who have displayed an outstanding innovative projects and organization that have achieved excellence in their field, such as construction, infrastructure, real estate, interiors and construction materials industries.
The winner is Sakoon Gardens.
Really happy to have these events about the Omanian company successful. I'm very happy to have these events with all our people, and I wish them, all the company who has been succeed today, I wish them the best.
It feels very great to have the awards and celebrate the achievements of everybody. Sakoon is our special project because it concentrates on quality.
29 awards, including special awards, were presented to the winning companies, professionals and industry leaders. The awards aimed at recognizing overall excellence in the delivery of buildings, civil engineering, infrastructure and real estate projects along with allied sectors.
I'd like to thank the organizer for nominating us as Ras Al Hamra project to this award, which represent our work in trying to improve the HSC culture across the construction industry. It's becoming part of the project key milestone delivery that we look into after people who work with us and ensure their well-being and safety while they're working on our site.
Earlier in the day, an intellectual forum was held which allowed the opportunity of exchanging knowledge of best practices within the industry. This event was attended by 17 industry leaders from Oman, Qatar, India and Nigeria. His Excellency Dr. Rashid bin Al-Safi Al-Huraibi said in his statement, "This mutual dialogue of these experts will contribute to increasing the specialized and general knowledge to the needs of the market and the latest developments in this sector." Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
In the Tunisian capital and with the participation of the Sultanate, the first Arab International Conference for Cultural and Sports Rights of Disabled People discussed ways to involve this segment of the society in media and various social and cultural activities. The Sultanate presented a work paper on its experience in integrating the disabled in media and change an image of this important element of the society in various media means. His Excellency the Minister of Information was honored during this event for supporting disabled people in the field of media. The Sultanate achieved third place on the Arab level in the Global Index for Business Centers 2017. Meanwhile, on the global level, the Sultanate achieved the 32nd place among 174 countries and gained 62.98 points. The report issued by BDO Global Company pointed out that the latest economic policies in various world countries, as well as analysis of economic and cultural situations, in addition to reviewing marketing operations and production policies, including investment facilities. Child rights and ways of protecting him were discussed in the first National Conference for Child Protection from the Violence in the Wilaya of Sohar in the Governorate of North Batna. The conference, which came under the title Protect Me, also reviewed the legal protection that the child enjoys. It focused on laws and legislations in the field of childhood and practical measures to protect children, in addition to the role of a domestic institution and work mechanism in the field of protecting childhood in order to activate child rights and set recommendations and suggestions for the work program for those institutions. It also discussed the necessity of child protection, introduce their rights and spread awareness about all topics related to children. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorates of South Sharqiya and Worcester. Winds will be easterly to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The activities of Oman Science Festival 2017 are launched at Oman Conference and Convention Center. The Sultanate celebrates Omani Youth Day, which falls on the 26th of October each year. The Omani-British Joint Working Group reviews the growth of cooperation relations between the two countries in a number of current and regional and international issues. And more than 70 initiatives and projects are announced at a conference held by the Implementation Support and a Follow-up Unit for the Fisheries Laboratories. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night.